Our Region's Business is sponsored by PNC for the Achiever in You. Our Region's Business. Innovation, transformation, momentum. Improving our communities and driving technologies that will shape our region for generations. The collaboration that brings vitality, prosperity, and life to living. Stay with us for the coming half hour as we examine in depth our region's business. Now, here's your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, women in finance. A few ideas to help make sure you achieve your objectives. And Kennametal's effort to encourage young people to take notice of careers in manufacturing. But first, a new effort to strengthen manufacturing in Pennsylvania. Governor Tom Corbett has charged the Governor's Manufacturing Advisory Council, led by Team PA, to look at everything from the business climate to workforce development and return with recommendations. Cardoso is making it a mission. He's co-chair of the council and president and CEO of Kennametal, a major manufacturer based in Latrobe, Westmoreland County, Pennsylvania. And welcome back. Good to see you again.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing well. The bigger question is, how's manufacturing doing in Pennsylvania these days?
Very good, very good. We continue to lead the recovery. Manufacturing continues to be strong, and we always would hope to be stronger, but under the current environment, I would think that manufacturing is really a shiny star among all the industries that we have around.
Great to hear, but I suspect that would surprise a lot of our neighbors here who kind of wrote off manufacturing decades ago and probably in many cases don't think it's has much of a future today. It's that bright a picture.
Well, I mean, manufacturing still represents a little less than $100 billion in the state of Pennsylvania. So we still contribute 12% of GDP to the state of Pennsylvania. So we continue to be strong. Our job is to make sure that we get stronger because obviously jobs in manufacturing pay well and provide a good living for people in manufacturing.
Well, we hear that all the time, manufacturing jobs pay well. How much better does manufacturing pay than other types of occupations?
Bill, on average in the state of Pennsylvania, if you take the farming area out, manufacturers pay an average of 44% higher than the average wage of all the other industries.
44% higher, so that's significant. Now, is that similar to what you'd find in other parts of the country?
Actually, we are higher here than the national average. The national average is about 20%. So on average, an employee in manufacturing makes about $75,000, which, by the way, that's a middle-class person. I always emphasize that. For instance, at Kennametal, all our employees, regardless of what they do, even those that work in the shop floor, are considered middle class. They can own their own homes, they can send their kids to college, they have great benefits. So it is really a good living by being part of manufacturing.
Yeah, it sure sounds like it. So what are you working on as the council then? It sounds like things are all okay, but I imagine there are things you think need to happen in Pennsylvania and beyond to really continue to grow manufacturing.
Of course, and you know, I'm involved both at the national level and at the state level. You know, I think we need to continue to make our companies more competitive. We play in a global arena. We have to compete with the world. So we need to always make sure that we have an environment that makes manufacturing more competitive. You know, things like, you know, regulatory overreach. You know, we believe that we need regulation. We believe that we need some controls. But I think we need smart regulation. And something, we can manufacturing things and still protect the environment. And Kennametal has initiatives to protect the environment in all aspects, so we want to be a responsible manufacturer. This is a great state for energy. I mean, we talk about the
right now, we're back in the business, right? Yeah.
Exactly, in Marcellus Shale. And if you really think about why the steel industry settled in here, was for one reason, primarily, was the energy, the cost of energy. So working on making energy or providing energy at a lower cost for manufacturers so that we can be more competitive is very important, and we can do that in Pennsylvania. So that's another area that we're focusing on. Obviously, taxes, you know, Pennsylvania is one of the highest tax states in the union. You know, what is it that we need to do so that we can not only be competitive, those companies that are here, but I think as important, or sometimes even more important, how do we make it more attractive for other companies to come here? So that's an area of opportunities, and infrastructure is the other area. You know, how do we make sure that we can move products that we make in the state, in and out of state, at a competitive price.
Sure, a lot of talk these days about transportation, the highway and road infrastructure, but then you need railroads. In some cases, they need towboats and barges and a lock and dam system, right?
All of that are areas that you know, some manufacturers in the area make parts that are very big, you know, and very heavy. So we need to find a way that they can do that and be very competitive. And I think one of my focus is really on the workforce development. I think that as we become more competitive, as we become more high tech, we need the workers that have a higher level of training and skills and education. And I think that Pittsburgh has, I don't know how many total universities, quite a few.
36 in the 10 counties of southwestern Pennsylvania alone. Yeah.
So that, you know, it appeared to me, that would be a thing that we could do very easily. But what we find is we train people in the state and they go out of state to work. And we have to find a way to keep those people here, to help companies like Kennametal to continue to thrive.
You know, only a few seconds left, but part of it is people need to believe there's opportunity here. Do you think with this energy opportunity we have and the impact that could have on manufacturing, people can have confidence here that these kinds of great jobs are going to be here for their children if they get the education? You
know, I think the manufacturers need to do a better job in communicating that and showing people that is possible. But I can tell you that there's a lot of companies, including ourselves, that at times have to go elsewhere to fill jobs because the capabilities are not here in the state. So I think it is a good opportunity. As I said, you know, we can have good middle class employees, people that can make a living. And, you know, just so that you know, for every one job that Kennametal has in the state, there's 5 jobs. We support 5 jobs for every one job that we have here. So it is important, and I think we can do a better job. All right, so we need a whole lot of talent, and so we're going to keep you on and come back in our next segment and really talk about building the next generation of engineers. Carlos Cardoso, thanks a lot. We'll see you again in a minute. They're needed in manufacturing, a variety of other industries, so stay with us. We'll be right back.